But I mean, look, if you're finishing 9th in stage 2, this is a good opportunity to maybe do something a little bit different as we're heading into the ban phase. But I think it's kind of, in some ways for Spacestation Gaming, you can't really get worse than what we've seen from them in recent times. So a good opportunity for them to maybe just sort of reset, right? Kind of ignore the past, don't worry about the last couple of stages. Dexter coming in as a trial, he's obviously going to want to be playing as hard as he possibly can for this team to try and maybe secure a spot for the future. DAMWON Gaming here from APAC. We all know what everyone talks about on Reddit, on Twitch. APAC teams, do they do well internationally? Not always. Locally though, yes. From APAC North, it's always been a bit of a struggle. DAMWON Kia has had a little bit of success, at least internationally. This is another opportunity for them to stamp themselves on the international scene. We are heading to Chalet as well, Rob, by the way, when we look at these bands. We saw it in the top right corner. Really not too much to touch on. Pretty much Azami, Nook, Flores, and now Mira, all pretty standard staple bands when it comes to basically almost any map. You can honestly throw them in on any map and you'll be happy. But on Chalet as well, I think the Flores really good for clearing a lot of the choke points and a lot of the utility. Taking him off the board allows that, but then the Azami goes back the other way, who is obviously so strong in being able to tie down locations with those keeper barriers. So we do head to Chalet for what is the first map of this best of 3. So in some sense, you know, the first map doesn't really mean all, but you do want to get off to a good start on land. First match, first time playing on land for a little while now for both of these two teams, and we'll see how they go. Big game coming up. Like I said, DAMWON Gaming Kia back at the Sweden Major, defeated Spacestation twice. Both of those times were on Clubhouse. We head to Chalet for the first map of 3.
That's it. Buckle in. We've got a lot of matches coming your way tonight, and I mean, the two names that we've got right now, this excites me. This really does send tingles down my spine when I think about the history, as you touched on. SSG obviously losing to, well, losing's a harsh way to put it, but they did. They straight out lost to DWG all those many moons ago now. But the age-old question of the APAC playstyle, I think really this is a great opportunity for DWG to once again cement in the minds of international viewers where they're at. They've had tremendous performances in majors at the SI. Now it's time to double down as we get into stage 2, as we head to the Berlin Major. There is so much on the line for this roster, and already kickstarting its kitchen dining defense.
Dexter, obviously the entry player on that Finker, and an operator that we've seen have so much impact in pretty much every region so far over this couple of months, and it's so powerful, so strong, especially on a map like this. And Spacestation Gaming just going for a bit of a blitz attack early on, first round, which is not too surprising for opening rounds, and especially trying to maybe counter some of the aggression that you're going to expect to see from the likes of DAMWON Gaming here. An APAC team always likes to spawn pick and go for broke early on, but yeah, this is really, really quick pace. Not expecting this to last for the majority of this map, probably expecting this only to be for the first round, but it's a decent start. 3 versus 2, Coded's low on health as well, only Woogieman full health for DAMWON Kia, and I think this is the perfect start for Spacestation Gaming.
I was just about to say, I'm a huge fan at the way that SSG have started this out. You know, getting in the faces of DAMWON Gaming, who we know can be aggressive, who we know have a volatile play style. This is a great way to set the tone nice and early. Coded in a lot of trouble, just makes it back into the kitchen hallway in time. Woogieman trying to play aggressive on the line and catch hot and cold out, but it's not going to happen. Coded in a 1 versus 3 with so much time that he's going to play with. This has to be a Space Station round. There's no two ways about it.
No, obviously Space Station's going to win this round, but can they do this every round? I don't think so. This is going to be a one play, and they went really deep into the blitz as well, beginning the line, the Finker, pretty much highlighting that blitz attack, and yeah, hot and cold finish it off. Good start though for Space Station Gaming. Anytime you go for a blitz attack like that, it's showing confidence. It's showing that they're here to play, that they want to dictate the tempo of this game, especially against a team like DAMWON Gaming here on a map like Chalet, where you probably need to be somewhat aggressive. You can't just sit on site. Very good opening round. DAMWON Gaming here. They're not going to allow that to happen again, though. Surely not. So they go bar games, a bit more of a conventional defensive setup here, I think, for DAMWON. And I don't expect to see Space Station play that fast again. One and done, I think, get the opening round. Basically says they're here to play, but I think they'll slow it down a little bit.
And, you know, For me, the good sign to start out with for DWG, it was actually something really small. And I'm not going to go to touch on, you know, NAL, EUL playstyle because I'm just not an expert on that region. But certainly in APAC, one thing that we have seen throughout the last 12 months is the use, I would say the sporadic use of Echo, bringing those yokais and playing aggressive. The push that was in toward Piano, I can't remember who it was. I'm pretty sure Woogieman was actually on the Echo itself. But just that support with the yokai in an advanced position, in an aggressive position where for much of 2021 we looked at Echo as being kind of like an anchor site, you know, plant denial kind of operator. I feel like in APAC it's certainly changed up a little bit. Again, don't want to touch on EUL or NAL or anything like that, but certainly good signs for DAMWON Gaming. Even though SSG are in their face, they still have a response for it. Now it's about tidying things up here, and as you said, I don't think SSG are going to go for that aggressive play style anytime soon.
No, I mean, look, you're going to run the Finker anyway, right? Like, that's got nothing to do with the blitz attack. The Ying is what I sort of look at as, I think, the foundations of... If you're bringing Lion, Ying, and Finker, you're probably going to go for some kind of quick take. But, yeah, Lion, Finker, this lineup that SSG's brought out for this particular round, it does not indicate that they're going to go quicker than obviously that opening round. Things will slow down. They'll look to clear out library, of course, try and get that top control, try and clear out top library stairs, the shield, for example, too, and then obviously look to sort of make their way through and clear out this defense of DAMWON Gaming here. So a more sophisticated, a more methodical round coming up here in the second round, which you expect over the longevity of a best-of-3 series, more rounds will play out such as this than, say, that first opening round.
Well, I mean, at this point in the last round, it was a 3 versus 1.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much round over.
Yeah, that's going to go to show the different pacing that we're going to have here. But I'm keen to see for DK how they hold down Rampy with a fantastic pick from double window there. And SSG instantly capitalize on the back of DWG losing a little bit of control. An opportunity here for them to close out and kickstart 2-0. This is massive.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. I mean, on a VAR Games defense, to lose 2 players that early on is quite underwhelming, especially when you consider the top library stair shield is still up. The placement here for Woogieman with 3 gas babes available does kind of suggest that defensively they're still well equipped, but losing those 2 players now opens up library and opens up a different avenue for Spacestation. Only a minute left, so obviously you don't want to waste too much more time, but they're so far ahead in this round, and Rampy finds the nade kill onto Woogieman. So that was top library stairs clearing the shield. That also got the smoke for free. Talk about 2 for 1 there with that nade, and Spacestation making quick work of them. This might just be flawless. Not quite. Cat saying over towards Fireplace does get one onto hot and cold, but yeah, round's over.
Well and truly. Well and truly. Cat saying, I mean, gives himself a bit of a breather there, finds a second, but from... Hang on a second. It's already come out. DWG, you don't want to mess with any of their individual players. Opportunities given, but squandered. Lovely shutdown from Rampy to close things out. Composure from SSG in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, 100% been the better team in the first 2 rounds. They are the team that's clearly come to play and dictating this match early on. It is Chalet though, Rob, right? It's attacker-sided for the most part, and it's going to be a map that rewards active attacking teams. If you're aggressive, if you're taking positions early, if you're getting those opening kills, that defense can really just start to fall apart. So not really too surprised with the way things are starting out here. DAMWON Gaming here as well, not a team that predominantly plays a lot of Chalet. It's something that they probably would be happy to play if necessary. Kind of look back to some of their recent games on it. They played Reject, won that 7-3 in APAC North, locally as well in the Korean Open, 7-3 over Spear Gaming. So they have shown the ability to play on Chalet, but maybe not so much at the higher levels. You think back to the APAC playoffs in stage 1, and they got beaten pretty soundly by the Chiefs here. So that is one thing that is concerning. But at the same time, I mean, this is also not really a map that you see from Space Station, right? It's not in their repertoire either. So in some ways, to me, it's rather neutral. And since it's neutral, whichever team's going to be aggressive and set the pace early on, they're probably going to come out ahead.
It's a pretty solid theory. Keen to see whether this concludes, you know, like for us, very much an attacking-sided map in APAC. Again, globally, not entirely sure whether it kind of follows suit. I know last year, it definitely didn't follow suit as much as it did in APAC. It was like 60% attacker-sided for all of us. Or down in the Australian realm. But at this point, I am convinced that SSG are very well prepared for this. I want to see what the response from DAMWON Gaming is, though. They have been a team in the past that have shown a hell of a lot of resilience. So I'm keen to see whether they're able to bounce back from this, whether this kind of hinders at least the first map. Of course, being a best of 3, there's long legs on this. So to start with, very impressed from SSG. And can they double down now is the big key factor. No one in DWG's face yet.
Yeah, I think for DAMWON, what they really need right now, not a timeout, and slow the game down, right? Try and get it back on their terms a little bit. The pace is clearly just not actually something that's going in their favour. And again, you can see that Dexter, LMG on the finger, so powerful, allows that quick entry, and they're already into Solar with just over 90 seconds left in the round. Clear control. The only downside is Bosco is actually on the ground. So Dexter also gets caught, bottom of trophy stairs. Boogeyman finding that kill back. Now actually can sort of reset things a little bit for DAMWON Gaming. Coda throws out the last gas babe, but it's again Spacestation that are aggressive and forcing the issue early.
SSG have been fantastic on cutting these rotates out. Nearly any time DWG are trying to move around the map, SSG have their lines cut out, and it's making life incredibly difficult unless your name's Woogieman. Of course, Bosco was already down. I don't want to get too excited there. Do have control of Solar, though. And there's no one out on the Solar window. There's no one pushing into Trophy yet. So SSG have a lot of work ahead of them to even grab this kit back, let alone take these players out in Solar.
Yeah, and time now a factor as well for Hot and Cold and for Fultz. They don't have the best position. I mean, Hot and Cold's still on the rappel outside, so and Fultz as well on that piano balcony window. So it's not looking very likely. The only positive is that Coda is low on health. You find that kill. Now it's Rin, also just outside piano in that library hallway, has the Sawyer gate. Does he have the information though on Fultz? Just outside on the opposite side. If Ren runs through, he does die, but time is a factor. He's the one that has to make the move. Instead, it's Ren. If that pushed forward, he swung. Oh, shot from
no.
Fultz. Coated down. It's only Woogieman who's already made a couple of big plays in this round in red time. No diffuser at hand. He takes the shot though onto Fultz. He's punished by Hot and Cold. Oh no. He just had to play for time, Rob.
I don't want to be critical because that's not the kind of caster I am there, but Rin trying to make a move around piano and all the noise that is kind of going on with the gates there, Fultz takes full advantage of that. That is a round that SSG should never win. Kid is down in Solar. There is no pressure from Trophy. There's no pressure from Bathroom. You've got a player all the way deep in Closet. You've got one player watching the double window out on Bedroom. That shouldn't happen for DWG. This is a little bit concerning now. And this is around the point for me, Xenox, where I asked the question, when are we going to see that timeout? And how is that going to affect the flow of this game? Because I'll be completely honest, that is not a fantastic start from DWG.
Yeah, full credit to Fultz though. I mean, just 100% impeccable solo play to essentially put Hot and Cold in a position to win that round for them. Do have to question Woogieman a little bit, but yeah, incredible solo play. And so far, Spacestation Gaming have actually looked pretty incredible. I mean, DAMWON Gaming here are no pushovers.
5 seconds left.
They're the top team in APAC North for 2 stages running. They're going to the Berlin Major. They need to be playing well here. The money's on the line. The form that they also need to bring into the Major is another factor. So there's even more pressure on the shoulders of DAMWON Gaming here to perform, more so than even SSG. And SSG is a team that has been, you know, obviously going through some issues in the last couple of stages in the NAL, but Dexter so far looking good on the finger, hasn't found any kills, but he's at least opening things up for them. Sometimes you look at stats, you look at numbers, and you think, okay, well, he hasn't got kills, so he's not playing well. But I think his positioning has been good in allowing them to play aggressive. 2 assists kind of suggests that he's doing his job in being the entry to open things up, and yeah, the rest of SSG are just happily obliging. And now they go into this again. Fultz now as well on the Amaru. Now does get caught by Woogieman, who has so far been the solace, the saving grace for DAMWON Gaming here. But again, quick aggression from SSG has been the tempo that they have been setting in this match.
It's been squandered though this time around. However, they're still finding their way back into this. I mean, the nades have been impeccable from SSG. worrying signs. I feel like DWG would be well equipped playing an APAC to this kind of quicker pace, this quicker style. One thing I think from SSG, when they are quick, they're quick to get in the building, but they're not hurrying to make a decision once they're there. And I think that's what's really faltering DWG. It feels like in APAC, when something happens quick, it's the whole round, right? Like, you're going for the rush, you're on site, you're trying to get in the face. Whereas SSG, they make the call, they're not on site, they're in the building causing havoc, but they're not doing anything that's really disrupting sight or anything like that. DWG getting caught out, kind of over-rotating a little bit more so here. Big chance for SSG to go 4-0 on the trot.
It's quite staggering, though. When we talk about international events, a lot of the times you hear how impacted in the aggressors, but it's so far been all SSG until that moment there from Coated that finds a couple of cheeky kills, and that's probably the round. Hot and cold in a 1 versus 3, 60 seconds. User on the other side of Kitchen. So really, besides that little blemish, it's just been all SSG, understanding that they've got vertical still. But Yas, obviously from above, has the better angle, and DAMWON Kia on the board finally with the round. And even then, in that round, the start of it was SSG setting the tone, finding the kills early, looking to be aggressive, and it was only, you know, quite courtesy, a couple of kills going DAMWON's way on site that really was allowing them to get back into that round. Still had the vert control, and that's why they ended up winning. But still, there is warning bells going off in the DAMWON Gaming here camp in the first half so far. 2 more rounds to go, and they probably need at least 1 more round. Otherwise, SSG looking like they may make this series quick.
Yeah, the heroics there from Coated, that's absolutely massive. I didn't actually see where that was. I was actually looking at the vetoes, which I want to touch on really quickly. Chalet picked by DAMWON Gaming, so this is a really big map to kickstart. Chalet really should be dominated by DWG. I think pass mark here in the first half has to be 4-2. I don't think that they can afford to go 5-1 down. I do back their attacking when we swap halves. Regardless, as we move across to the second map, we're going to Theme Park. And I don't know whether we'll touch on that now or whether we'll do it in the break, but Theme Park doesn't look all that tremendous for DWG, but we've got no information on SSG, at least on our little stat tracker that we have. And rounding out the map, it finishes on Bank. So, you know, Chalet, Theme Park, Bank. If DWG cannot get a grip on this half, I am really concerned for this best of 3.
Yeah, well, Bank and Theme Park, 2 maps that you see quite a bit of in the North American League, and Theme Park rather defensive sided. I think about 58% defender win rate over in the NAL, so something to keep in mind. The other thing to actually keep in mind as well, in all honesty, Spacestation Gaming's sort of statistics for stage 2 of the NAL. Not one player, Rob, over a 1.0 rating, not one player with positive KD, but they actually did have some rather decent entry stats, so that is a big positive for them on a map like Chalet, and so far you're seeing that here on their attacker side. It's their entry that is essentially winning them the rounds. Now you look back to the 4th round just then that played out, and once that entry game sort of stagnated and it was still about 3-3, that's when DAMWON actually started to look a little bit better. So that's the sort of win condition here, I think, for DAMWON Gaming here. Don't lose players early to the entry. Try and be better in the first minute and a half, which is kind of playing out here in this 5th round. And wait for the end game execution, because that's where SSG will falter. Big opportunity as it is a minute 30, you know, really DWG haven't been tested all that much. Obviously taking control of the basement. SSG's nades have been near picture perfect in the first 5 rounds. And that will find the opening. Dexter's using the spear instead of the LMG. That's a little bit surprising considering how good the LMG is on the Finker. Maybe he knows something that we don't know, but it's been an absolute staple of the Finker in recent times. That LMG is cause for hot discussion, but Yas does go down to Rampy. And now a 2-player advantage, making it 3 courtesy of Bosco, and somewhat similar to what we saw in the first 3 rounds, Rob. It's kind of like that last round that we just had in the 4th round. That's the anomaly, and it's kind of back to normal viewing for SSG. 3-player advantage, 45 seconds left. They've got everything opened up. Wookieman has no idea really where they are. Has a couple of gas babes, 1 left now in the pocket, but yeah, it's job done again for SSG in the early and in the mid-round portions of these rounds.
individual prowess now comes in for DWG. They've got 30 seconds to hold off 5 players. Fultz is going to try and creep up. That's a big pick for Katsang to take. It alleviates a lot of pressure on the backside of this site. Boss goes in a half wall. He's going to stick this plan. Is there any pressure from DWG? They are able to deny, and now Katsang in a 1 versus 2 can't get it done. It's hot and cold from the top of the library hatch. SSG are looking phenomenal here in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, clearly the better team. Like, sometimes you get halves where you do question whether it's the map. On a map like Chalet, at times you can have it be rather attacker-sided, at least in the APAC region as well. I mean, I'll maybe even have a quick little look-see here at the NAL and see how it goes over there. And yeah, 33% defensive win rate. So again, emphasizing how strong this map is. And I think you're seeing that right now with SSG. We think back home in APAC that we have the aggression, that teams would love to go to Chalet. SSG is like, no, this is really attacker-sided in North America, and we're very competent at it, clearly, and they've shown that this first half. And like you said before, Rob, 5-1, that is not a pass mark for DAMWON Gaming here. That is a disaster. So an opportunity now for SSG to go one better than par for the course, but still one more round for DAMWON Gaming here to at least get back to 2-4. We think that's probably good enough for them on the defense, then to go into their own attack, where they are a strong team on the attack on a map like Chalet. They're very good on the entry as well, so don't count this game out just yet, but one more round here for SSG to really nail home a solid first half where they've been by far and away the better team.
Something that's really stood out to me is SSG and their ability to just cut off DWG. Every single time we see in the mid-round players rotating from DWG, it feels like SSG have cornered them and cut them off on rotates. And that seems to be a blaringly dangerous issue for DWG at this point on their defense. When we move to attack, that kind of it negates, you're not as much on the back foot there, but certainly really impressed with where SSG are at. Surely they're not going to go for a little cheeky push in here. Where are DWG players actually posed? There's one towards Solar. I just feel like DWG aren't prepared for much of this.
Yeah, which is quite surprising in some ways. They've got to be obviously prepared. You've chosen this map. It's a map that is also very prevalent in the APAC region, so
very.
It's a little bit surprising, I will say. Not from SSG's side. I think you probably expect them to then obviously come out, showcase that they've still got it. Dexter's, the trial, and they're going to want to be aggressive from the onset. It's clear that they've played into that, but I'm surprised by the defense of DAMWON Gaming here. They have just not been able to stand up to SSG whatsoever. And again, it's another round. I think that's now 5 out of 6 rounds. An opening kill has gone the way of SSG. Not too surprising, attack side of Chalet, but still, it's just highlighting that they're so far in the better team. It's not even funny. So concerns here from DAMWON Gaming here.
Leaps and bounds, they say. Xenox leaps and bounds. Bosco at the moment, he's got control of an incredibly important position. Hot and Cold has gone down. Katsang swings, and that's an unreal pick. Fultz does trade back. With a minute left, things are starting to heat up a little bit more now, but I feel like SSG have actually taken a fair bit of control here away from DWG, and they've really got to be careful how they approach this side on the retake.
Oh, walking in though, finds a big kill into Fultz. Now, Katsang almost lost his life there, pushing into bedroom. Dexter back onto the LMG. No kills just yet, but he's got Rampy, who's got 10. And honestly, at this point, you might be playing the Finker, you might be the entry player, but right now you're the support for Rampy. Get that adrenal surge going, get him a little bit of that armor. 35 seconds left, +1 advantage though for DAMWON Gaming. Yeah, must win round. If they lose this round from this situation, I don't see them winning the map at all. And Yats finds the big kill onto Rampy.
Kid's down in a really awkward position, so this is always going to be a tough ask. If Dexter can find this kill, you maybe start to believe a little bit, but Yas swings the second that pick goes down. 4-2 half here. DWG are not out, not by any means.
No, they had to win that round. They had to win that round. It was a round they should have put a large emphasis on winning. 2-4 suddenly now kind of negates a lot of that power play that we saw from SSG in basically 4 out of 6 rounds. They stomped DAMWON Gaming here. It just wasn't even close. But in the other 2 rounds, they weren't clean wins from DAMWON Kia, but they just were able to win in a kind of sloppy way. It doesn't matter if you win a sloppy way on the defense. Have like Chalet, just get the rounds done. You bank the points, you bank the round wins, and then you go over into the second half. And now you try and replicate what SSG was putting out in that first half. You need to do it yourself. And I think they've got what it takes to do that, especially considering APAC aggression always goes hand in hand with a map like Chalet, which for me almost feels like the home of APAC at times in the way that it sort of plays. Yeah. But we'll see what SSG's got on the defense, right? To be the best team and to be one of the best teams, you got to do it on both sides of the coin, defense and offense. Really good first half, really good attacking side here on Chalet. What's their defense going to be like?
That last round, as you said, must win, but it's incredibly pivotal for the thing, for a very, very simple concept, which is momentum. If DWG don't break it going into the second half, this first round feels like a massive uphill battle. Now it kind of feels like it's leveled out a little bit more. 4-2, I kind of brush that off at this point, and if DWG can start in the right fashion, if they can open up this first pick, it starts to, I think, kind of take away from SSG's power in the first half. But you know, I don't want to talk about power dynamics or momentum too much here. As the open for this round, SSG, they hold, I think, the most powerful site in the map, barring games. This is a big one for DWG.
And the player that was just on our screens there, Yas, best entry player on DAMWON Gaming here in Stage 2, plus 10 on the entry. I mean, that is a incredible number. But then you've also got Coded plus 6, Woogieman plus 4. So again, highlighting, this is a team that is pretty good on the entry as well. They shouldn't be too panicked by the situation. 2-4 in the half isn't really all that bad. They should feel as if they're still in this game. But hello, Dexter. Welcome to the big stage. Your first kill on land. It's a big one. 1-5, but hey, he has been prominent. He's had some moments. You have to understand, trialing for a new team at land, it's a pressured situation. So it may take a couple of rounds, maybe, hey, even a couple of maps to really find his feet. But he finds a kill there. It does also mean the defense get the opening kill. That can really slow down this attack. And I tell you what, if they get this next kill, SSG put themselves in a position to go 5-2 and to find an early defensive round. And it could just be the nail in the coffin for DAMWON Kia.
When you look at the hard breacher now, go on, this is like really dangerous. Oh yes, nearly goes massive. I thought surely does not pick up a second there. With Fultz going down, sorry, not Fultz, with Dexter going down, kind of just feels like much of a muchness. DWG in a really, really difficult position from here on out. As long as SSG don't overextend, don't give too much into the hands of DAMWON, they're going to have an incredibly difficult time even getting into the building, let alone winning the rounds.
Yeah, and they haven't even cleared out top library. You've still got full defensive setup here for SSG. I mean, Sawyer Gates is still in as well. Woogieman has no utility to clear that, but Katsang goes in. They find the kill onto Fultz. That does give them vert control now, but only 33 seconds left. And Katsang with that diffuser has to be the player that gets that plant down. Otherwise, it all comes undone. Bosco has the gas babe, SMG 11, but Rin makes their way into Mudroom. Other than that, though, DAMWON's still very split. Katsang's going to go for the drop, and if anyone's watching that hatch, it should be an easy win for SSG.
I feel like Rin could unravel this round if he can get into a good position. Katsang's still worried about a flank coming up the top stairs. Hot and cold just needs to stay alive here. 5 seconds left. Katsang trying to get his way into the building. Woogieman trying to hold on, but he goes down. Rin too. And it doesn't matter what Katsang does from here. SSG start out with a massive defensive round in the second half.
What's DAMWON doing, though? I mean, there's no time left. You're still making your way down the mezzanine stairs with diffuser in hand, and there's like 5 seconds left on the clock. I mean, I understand Bosco, I mean, he's just sitting inside a bar stock for free, but I mean, hello, that's a win condition there. The SSG that DAMWON has not dealt with, going down to the final 20 seconds on bar games. It's such a powerful position, and DAMWON Kia have just really fallen asleep at the wheel at the conclusion of that round. Full credit to SSG, still had good positioning. They didn't really have to do a whole lot. In fairness, you're just holding your angles and you're holding those last round defensive positions, but you do have to question DAMWON Kia. It's almost like they just didn't want to go forward. They were just stuck in mud.
Well, one player was, for damn sure. I do feel like this is a really pivotal moment for DWG in this best of 3. They are down real bad. I don't mean to use, you know, young kids sayings, but honestly, they're really in a tight position here. The decision to try and clear out library clearly did not work from DWG. They weren't even putting any emphasis whatsoever on the solo clear, which is fine. You know, you don't have to clear from the north side of the map across, but certainly when you're struggling to get into library, when you're struggling to find a pick, you probably need to look at a different avenue. And for me right now, that's a big start. That right there, I know it seems so small, but to take out Rampy this early on in the round, it gives DWG some room to breathe. It gives them a moment to kind of reset here and go, okay, we're already in the round, now we just have to find our way into the building.
Yeah, Rampy 10-5 prior to that death, and obviously having a very, very good game so far here on Chalet, especially in the Oryx as well. On the defense, we just run around being an absolute menace, but also just getting that opening kill for DAMWON here. It goes a long way considering the start of this second half. The first thing that happened is they, of course, give up another opening kill to SSG, losing out to the defense on Chalet, not the start that you'd like. So now at least you can maybe look to fight back in this 8th round, get the opening kill, you're on the attack. You got a lot of time as well to work with this 5 versus 4 advantage on kitchen dining. So get to work above, try and go for that solo take, clear out master office, and then from there you've got the control, go for the plant. Maybe you could just find the kills along the way. That makes your job so much easier. Katsang finding the kill in the hot and cold. 10-5 now for Katsang, and probably just needs a couple of other teammates to maybe come to the table and help out. But this is the problem though. This is sort of where in the last round, zip stall out a little bit. Keep the foot on the pedal here, DAMWON. Yeah, exactly. Get to work, get that skeleton key out, start to really establish that vert control, but make sure you don't go for the plan with like 10 seconds left.
Well, that's just it, right? Like, already DWG have started out in a very different fashion to how they did in the first round. Not only do they find the opening pick, but they've also still got their soft breacher up, which allows them to go ham on this vertical position. And this is going to make life a little bit difficult for SSG, trying to play in and around the site, especially when you've still got players outside watching all of these rotates. None of the flanks are paying off for SSG. This overall is a tremendous round for DWG. And from here, a 1 versus 5, Dexter's caught. He's already been spotted, and he will be taken out. Flawless for DWG.
And it's the first time in this entire map, Rob, that I know flawless obviously indicates they've had a pretty good round, but it's the first time in 8 rounds that they've been the better team really in these rounds quite clearly, night and day difference.
Yep.
Even the rounds that they won in the first half, that was still a bit messy. They weren't the cleanest. Now finally they have something that went their way. Opening kill, into flaws, into good kills, into vert control. Every objective that they basically had, they did it, and they did it really cleanly. 3-5 scoreline as well. Not exactly a long way back either. It's only a 2-round differential. So yeah, a good opportunity for them to now maybe kind of a little bit of momentum off that round. You bring it back to 4-5, you win 2 in a row, you win 3 out of the last 4, pressure right back onto SSG. So the position there is now for DAMWON Kia to follow on from that 8th round, make it 2 in a row, put the pressure onto SSG. So big round for both of these two teams. And we head to Master Office for the 9th round.
10 seconds remaining.
And so far, it's been a pretty good game, all things considered. You know, SSG, they came out firing in that first half, but as we've now sort of transitioned into the second half, he's looking a little bit more even.
Very keen to see how DAMWON approach this site. You know, there are so many different ways that you can look to approach it, but we haven't really been seeing a hell of a lot of sweeps from either attacking side, you know, from the library across or from Solar across on those game bar defense. So I would like to see DAMWON Gaming put a little bit of pressure on the map as well and ensure that those roams are punished. We saw it in the last round. Catching rotates out, massive, massive work. And huge picks in the middle of the round to completely change any dynamic that there is of players rotating back to site or even trying to ankle down on site. From here on out, DWG are back, not in the driver's seat, they're in the passenger seat, but they've got one hand on the steering wheel. They could grab it with 2.
For safety reasons, you can't they grab it with 2. See how they go in this round. It's such an important round though. Getting that, I guess, map point in this instance, since it is a best of 3 for SSG, could just put them over the edge to sort of finish off strong. But as I said, you win this round 4-5, and suddenly all of that amazing start that SSG had in that first half will just start to unravel a little bit, and DAMWON Kia puts pressure back the other way. Now Rin, look at that west main window, peeking on in. The one benefit though for SSG this round, time. Still no real solid control. Minute 30, it's only just now that Yas has gone in and actually gone in very aggressively. So forget about that. They do have full control now, down the trophy stairs as well, just making sure no flank from SSG to regain Solar. Nade somehow, Kotin surviving that courtesy of that shield as well. Now pushing into bathroom. And DAMWON Kia actually are the aggressors here now as well. Yeah. Pretty much on site. Kotin, what a shot! Onto Dexter, sit down, and Katsang getting that diffuser down as well. That's the round. And boy,
oh my god,
last round was flawless. This one was pretty close.
I'm not gonna lie, I was looking at some stats before at the start of that round, not thinking that DWG were going to be able to get control of Solar. I look up for 2 seconds, they've got a player in bathroom, they've got one pushing the main door of bedroom. This is tremendous work from DWG, from where they were to where they are now. This is why we always talk about the tale of two halves. This is why you don't count a team out until we get into that second half, until we see the validity of both sides of the coin. And we're seeing it on full display right now. This is a DWG timeout.
That first one that they got to close out the second half, it wasn't very indicative of a team making a comeback, but it adds up. It's still a round that goes to the tally. These last 2 rounds basically flawless and starting to look like the better team. And what has obviously turned out to be a very, very attacker-sided Chalet. So far, 9 rounds played, well, only 3 defensive round wins, 6 to the attackers. That does not spell good news if you're an SSG fan going into the back half of this second half.
The only thing that does spell good news is the fact that Bar and Games has reopened. So this is the only good sign for me for SSG. Last 2 rounds have really, I feel like we haven't even seen SSG at any capacity, but certainly the first round of this half was very convincing from the defense. Whether it's going to remain that way, this is the big tale for me. Can DWG crack this egg? Can they ensure that SSG don't have this kind of I want to say free sight, free rounds? This is where the game can kind of turn on its head. If we go to OT and we're going to keep to this 4-2-4-2 half, I worry that it's going to come down to who gets the attacking side first.
Yeah, that is true. Could be the difference in the end, but the way that DAMWON Kia have played the last 2 rounds does sort of lead to suggest they could keep this up. SSG have shown us though in every round of the second half they can defend, and that was on Bar Games, and like you've said, puts emphasis on this 10th round. If they lose this round of Bar Games, it does start to put doubt into the minds of maybe SSG coming away with this map. Remembering though, this was the map pick of DAMWON Kia. Sending us to Chalet, we've got Theme Park after this. It just does kind of feel like SSG, a little bit of a deflation over the last couple of rounds after such an amazing start. And they have stagnated a little bit, and DAMWON Kia may be smelling blood in the water.
This is the best time to hit. When your opponent's down, when your opponent's struggling, this is the best time, no matter what sport or e-sport you watch. When you find yourself with the momentum, this is when you've got to capitalize, and you could not have a bigger round than right now. SSG have not faltered in the first minute 30, and DWG are struggling to find an in. They're struggling to find a pick. But this is where it all comes together. What intel have they been able to gain? Are they just going to go through the double window?
Well, they certainly do. Katsang just goes straight in, plant half wall. I mean, who's watching this for SSG?
No.
Is there no one in Barstock? What's going on now? The Gasman does go from Bosco, loses his luck to Rin, watching perfectly, but it has gone down. Now, you do lose Katsang Rob, but with plant down at half wall, outside big window, it's very difficult to see SSG getting a retake that is successful here. Volt has to make a big play, has to probably swing that window, find the kill straight away. Hasn't done so. Boogeyman still but big. The fact that they still have top library control as well established, there's no way at all we're going to be seeing Rampy pull off a clutch from here. 1 versus 3 with only 15 seconds left. Not happening. Not a chance. And DAMWON Kia make it 3 rounds in a row. But who was watching big window? Because they've just let them waltz into half wall. It's an easy plant in the end, and it has cost SSG.
huge round.
We've seen enough in the second half that suggests it's just Chalet.
Yeah.
Attacker-sided Chalet at its core. Both teams struggling on the defense, but looking so good on the attack. But now it's 5-5. 2 rounds to go in this half. Do we head to overtime? Or can DAMWON Kia honestly pull out the 7-5 victory? Because that seems like the two options for me. Well, I don't see a world in which SSG win 2 defensive rounds in a row. I don't see it happening.
No. I think the fact that they haven't gone back to barring games tells me that they are not confident in whatever went wrong in that round. They're not confident that they can fix that. And you know, for a simple mind like me that says it's just the double window watch, you know, watching someone make their way into half-water plant, it is never that simple, especially in a game at this level on land with these kind of teams. It's definitely not as simple as that, but there are some missed marks here from SSG. And this is why we said first half, the pass mark for DWG was a 4-2 defensive half. And it's exactly why, because it is just so hard to hold down a site. SSG's only saving grace is that they get to either reattempt kitchen and dining again, or they can go back to barring games for the final round. That is their only saving grace at this point.
5-5 scoreline. It was a 5-2 lead, so 3 rounds in a row now for DAMWON Kia on the attack of Chalet, and it just feels like it's getting better and better for them. These rounds have been clinical. The 9th round was flawless. The last round was pretty much near flawless. While we get drone, though, drone elimination here, SSG, there's only 5 left available for DAMWON Kia with 2 minutes to go. So a really, really good effort from SSG on the defense here to deny that information gain through those drones. Ford's taking a lot of damage in the nade from Yas. Sent him packing early in the round. It's advantage for DAMWON Kia. Another opening kill. And another concern for SSG. They've lost their smoke player.
This is devastating. This is just not the mark for SSG at this moment. They are struggling against the power of APAC North, the power of South Korea. DWG have shown their prowess domestically, but also internationally. You've got to remember their last 3 major performances, they have seen some outrageous success. Sorry, it was only 2 majors, Mexico and then Sweden. They've built upon that every single time. So no surprises that they're going toe-to-toe with SSG. But now comes the question for SSG. What do you have in the back pocket? And it seems like it's nothing but excuses, because DWG are opening and shutting this down at every point.
General Surge activated by Rim, still has 2 more available with a minute left, and they've got that 2-player advantage. Dexter, talk about a baptism of fire in your debut, in your trial. 1-10, the struggle here on Chalet. We'll need to turn that around if SSG are to win this series, because they're on the verge of being down 1-0. Rampy, Moscow, hot and cold. And the older hands maybe bring something back for SSG. Koten took a big tag of damage, but not enough to put him down. 30 seconds left, still a major advantage here for DAMWON Kia. Gas makes it 3, a triple in the round. Into the final 25 seconds.
Woogie's down though, and that's big. It's now a 2 versus 3, unless they pick Woogie up, which they do, in which case it's all over. Bosco is the last to remain, and Yas shuts him down. DWG are making no mistakes here in this second half.
I mean, playing devil's advocate a little bit better, at least from SSG, compared to the last 2 rounds, but not obviously close enough to even get them remotely close to winning that round. Better, but not good enough. DAMWON Kia just too good in the last 4 rounds now, 4 rounds in a row, which has eclipsed the 3-0 start that Spacestation had. And boy, was that a very fast-flying 3-0 start from Spacestation. Since then, only 2 rounds of the last 8 for Spacestation after that 3-0 start. So they have come crashing down back to earth. And DAMWON Kia, I think, yeah, first couple of rounds, you're on the defensive Chalet out of land. Maybe not going to go your way, but you start to warm up, and you then get your opportunity in the second half, and they are not wasting it. Match point, obviously best of 3 to map point. It is the map that they did elect to go to first. They picked it, and the 7-5 win would be a good way to start their Gamers8 tournament.
10 seconds.
Now, I'm not going to take away from this match right now because this is tremendous, but there is a massive game that has just unfolded for Wild from Germany. They are a team that are fighting for a spot in the European Challenger League. They have just defeated Team Liquid, who are one of the best teams, you know, kind of looking into this tournament. They've just beaten them 7-1 on Skyscraper in the opening map. 7-1.
Nah, you're joking.
No,
no, I don't believe you.
I do not pull legs. It is, it is true. It is flat out the truth.
Oh my!
It is Liquipedia approved, friends.
Okay, crazy things happening.
Yeah,
we'll keep our eyes obviously focused here on this game, which has been a game of two halves. Is probably the best way to say it. SSG shot out of the gates, but DAMWON here have responded. And responded vigorously. 4 rounds in a row. Rin makes the entry into bathroom with that adrenal surge. Had a bit of information.
Oh no. Rin, he had me worried there for a second. He does find the kill, and now SSG, they are shaking in their boots. And why would they not? This is the first time we've seen this sweep from Solar across from DWG, and it's working out perfectly. SSG are not being given an inch and are having a mile taken away from them at every single point. 5 players left alive for DAMWON Gaming Kia. There is nothing that they cannot do here. We have to see the might of NA. Oh, sorry.
Minute and a half. Waiting. And yeah, look, it's not looking good. In some ways, essentially the last couple of rounds in a nutshell, deja vu form. Again, opening kill for DAMWON Kia. Again, just sort of dwindling the defense.
Oh, God.
Dexter can't win that fight. Fultz does get one back onto Coated, but they are falling 1 by 1 here. Yas gets the kill onto Fultz. No surprise, they had the intel on him. And yeah, it's falling apart for SSG here on Chalet.
If this ends up going in the way that it is the trend, it will only be 3 defensive rounds in 12 on Chalet to open up our match here on the B stream. And it looks like it's going to be SSG. They are scrambling to find a trade. They are trying their hardest to find an opening. But I'm telling you right now, DWG are locking in. 30 seconds left, 2 versus 4. What can you pull out of the Rabbit's hat?
Maybe something. Maybe something. Rampy fighting that kill onto Woogie Man, and with Bosco still inside of bar stock, I mean, it's a pretty good position to hold. You don't have any more gas babes, though. And time factor now as well. DAMWON Kia, Bosco, the SMG 11. Right to the face of Rin. But Katsang takes out Rampy. They know where the last player is. It's the bar stock player. And it's a DAMWON Kia onslaught in the second half. 5 rounds in a row to complete the comeback and to take down SSG. Hands in face already after 1 map at a best of 3, Rob.
That is not a great sign. You see the kind of